Welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence Ask the Experts, a live bi-weekly show to help you know what to do and what's new in digital marketing for 2021 and beyond. Ask questions, suggest topics, and grow faster with actionable insights and proven strategies from the world's leading experts. Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Digital Marketing Intelligence Ask the Experts. I'm Marissa Morgan, and I'm not only your show host today, but I am also the Business Development Manager at Engage. And on behalf of myself and Engage, I want to welcome you to our show. Today's topic is 4 easy ways to grow your business in 2021, and most importantly, how to be where your customers are. Our amazing and incredibly insightful guest, Yasmina Kazitani, is here today with us. Yasmina, welcome to our show, and thank you for joining us today. If you don't know Yasmina, you need to know her. Yasmina, are you ready for this? Is a self-proclaimed business and revenues growth addict. She is the co-founder of SKLS Consulting. And when she's not scaling up businesses across Africa, the Middle East, and Europe, she is the queen of Clubhouse, where she started the Franchise Business Model Club and also the Women Empowerment Mina. She speaks 3 languages, English, French, and Arabic, and also un poquito español. So I am so excited that she's here because she is going to provide you today with actionable insights on how to use a multiple channel marketing strategy to help grow your business faster. Now, what is a multiple channel marketing strategy? It's all about being where your customers are. Where are your customers? Well, today it's very different. Customers today are on their mobile devices. They're using messaging apps. They're using social media platforms. So that is half of the solution, being where your customers are. But you also want to make sure that in responding to your customers, that you have a consistent message across all of those channels. So those are the 2 things we're going to touch on today with Yasmina's help. And I want you to join our conversation. Please join our conversation today. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'm actually being alerted we already have comments. Teodora says hi and greetings from Romania. And Rama says hello and greetings from Tunisia. Great, we got the whole world tuning in. All right, before we get started, I do want to let you know that all of this valuable information today is brought to you by Engage. If you're not familiar with Engage, it is the world's only free forever suite of conversational, marketing, sales, and support tools. It includes live chats, bots, automation, a CRM, and also help desk. So if you're missing a tool in your suite of tools, you definitely want to check out Engage. Now, I'm going to put our website up on the screen, and after the show, make sure you go to www.engage, and that's NGAGGE.com. Check out the platform. It is free to sign up. It's free forever. And no matter how fast or how big you scale your business, there's no locks, no upgrades, no limits. So scale away, baby, thanks to Engage. Now, on behalf of Engage, let's get this show started. Yasmina, welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence. You are our official expert today. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you, Marissa, for having me today. I'm super happy to be on the show and to share with you and the rest of the audience about my insight, experience in the topic.
Wonderful. We have more comments just like streaming in. So of course, I want to take a moment for all of you that comment or drop a question into the comment section and share that with everybody who's tuning in. let's see, let's share this one with everybody. This one is from, and I apologize if I pronounce your name wrong, Saraba, maybe. Hello, Marissa. This series you are conducting with so many amazing guests is not only fascinating, but super insightful and amazingly helpful. Wonderful comment. Thank you so much. Layla says, hi, Yasmina and Marissa.
That's one of the girls I mentor. I'm so glad to make it.
Wonderful. And then Ryan says, thank you so much. And also, this is very interesting. So good. You don't want to miss what Yasmina is going to share with us. So kick back, relax, don't go anywhere. And let's dive into getting to know our guests just a little bit more. Yasmina, tell everyone who's tuning in today and who will be watching this recording in the future a little bit about how you got into consulting and co-founding your own agency.
Well, to start with, I've been in the corporate world for the last 20 years. So for the last 20 years of my life, I started in corporate world from, various industry. And in the last 2 years, I took a leap of faith to say, okay, all this knowledge, all this expertise and, information on various market, various industry, various size of companies, let's put them into more, into a more direct approach. And that's why I ended up being, let's say, with a cohort of lovely gentlemen who are my partner in crime to build up this consultancy and help mid-sized company and startups to get started.
Okay, so you work with mid-size and startups and you're helping them scale. Let me ask you a question that I think will help start our conversation. What are some of the common problems that your clients are hoping that you can help them with and help them solve?
Well, I think that if I have to resume it in 3 major points, I would probably say the first one is that they have issues to scale up. So it's kind of taking them from a small little, company or one service to kind of grow up and expand. The second point also that kind of goes with it is the fact that they want to grow, but they don't know from a structure point of view, from a resources point of view, how to make that happen. And the last point, which is crucial for any business, is how to increase the sales and the revenue. So that's kind of what we are all about.
Do you find, Yasmina, that, whether it's a startup company or maybe a mid-sized company coming to you asking for help with, scaling and growing and increasing sales, do you feel like those questions differ from industry to industry or based on the company size? Or is it across the board? Everybody wants that same help with the same problem.
If I have to add up the consultancy and the background experience through, my history, I would probably say this is the 3 major issues from car manufacturing to retails to tech companies to cryptocurrency. I mean, I have worked with many brands, many size, and all of them, even enterprise, all have the same issue. How do I increase my revenue? But increasing your revenue means that you need to grow. Do you want to grow locally or do you want to expand to a different market? Expanding to a different market means that you need to position your brand there. And then that's what we call a scale up. So it's kind of taking you from here to there. That's a phasing stage. So wherever you are, I think it's like building a house. The fundamentals are the same everywhere.
The foundations of building a business and scaling up are very similar to building a house. It's true, you have to have a very strong foundation, whether it's a business or a house, to be able to grow upon that. Having the right tools and the right strategy, right, is crucial to building a business, just as it is to building a house. I have some interesting statistics I want to share as we kick off this conversation today about multiple channel strategy and being where your customers are. Let's share some statistics with you about where your customers are today, right? Today, consumers, are you ready for this? They spend 3 to 4 times more when they're using multi-channels versus a single channel. 72% of consumers prefer multiple channel marketing approach, and 53% use 3 or more social media channels. That's a lot. That's half of the population being on Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, or TikTok, Instagram. Don't forget we've got LinkedIn. Now, businesses retain 89% of customers using Omni versus single channel strategy. Omni being a consistent message, right, across all your channels. Businesses, let's see, experience 23 times higher customer satisfaction when using an Omni versus single channel strategy. And they realize a 64% increase in customer loyalty using an omni-channel versus a single channel strategy. Those are impressive statistics. As we get into our conversation, what do you think about those statistics and how much they're probably changing as we get into 2021 and everything's going digital?
I think they are spot on, because what the pandemic has showed us is that the digital landscape has totally transformed and shifted in the last 12 months. Right? Where people are more likely to be digitally consuming than anyone else, because some countries are on lockdown, some others are on restriction, some of them shops are not even open. They don't only do the click and collect, or some of them are not even, you can just get the delivery to your house. So it's really spot on. And two things I can talk about this data and you shared. The first thing is we look at 53% use of social, more use of 3 or more social media platforms. This is kind of, the key things. Today, as a consumer, just look at yourself, Marissa. How many platforms do you use to interact, to engage?
I think I'm on like 5 different platforms. So when they're saying 53% of the world is on at least 3, we're not taking into account that some people are on more than that, right? It's pretty incredible. How much are your customers, I'm a customer, you're a customer, how much our customers are spreading their reach, and why it's so important as a business for you to match that and for you to be where your customers are. Yasmina, what do you think are the most important things businesses need to consider, okay, when they are developing a multi-channel strategy, meaning being on different channels? What do you think businesses really need to take into account?
Depending on in the industry, the size of the company. So I would probably start with, let's say, startups, right? They are very small teams. So going omni-channels is very heavy and overwhelming. So for this kind of category, I would probably say going omni-channel is very important. It's more important to kind of maybe even go into a more strategic omni-channel. So choose carefully the platform that you really can feed your consumers or your prospect there before, going everywhere. You need to really niche your target and say, this is where my target is. So for example, I'm selling, I'm a startup and I'm just kind of selling, let's say, cupcakes, right, to deliver. So who is really my niche? It's the moms, it's, the birthday things. So I need to make sure that I'm niching them, and I go on Instagram, I go, for example, on Facebook, and I'll probably even go onto partnership, because we also forget the partnership with other bakeries, other chains. So that's this is where I will be focusing my omni-channel. And omni-channels means that you're giving the same message across all this platform that you are using. So you're not saying something on TikTok or Instagram and you're saying something different on Facebook. You're having one line. I call it like parenting. The dad says something, the mom says something. The kids cannot, play between them and get confused. So this is one line. If we go to a bigger company, the omni-channels is really also knowing how to map the lead journey, and CRM tools like yours could be like the best fit, because then you're really kind of understanding where to take them, from where to take them to what you taking them to, and trigger this consumption when it's needed. So the omni-channel is like a clear road map, like a sat nav for a car. Right? And again, it's very important to understand it and make sure that you're not wasting your time, elsewhere where your customers are not there. So who is your audience and where are they hanging out?
Right.
Once they're hanging out, you're there on
You're
them.
there. You're there. So in my thought process, we're sharing that being where your customers are is the most important thing when you are developing your multi-channel marketing strategy. So you use the example with the cupcakes, right? Maybe being on Instagram, maybe partnering, maybe you're going to be on WhatsApp. The benefits of that. Let's talk a little bit about the benefits of going to where your customers are, because right away, I think convenience, right? If it's convenient for me as a customer because something is popping up on my Instagram and all I need to do to purchase is click a link, then I'm more likely to buy. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree fully, and I would also add that the fact that Amazon, Spotify, all these channels of this business, have succeeded is because they have, nailed their lead mapping. People have a tendency of thinking just that I'm posting here and there. No, before that, you have an offline work, planning, content, planning what you want to communicate, how you'd like to communicate it. Once you know where to communicate it, you think then that which kind of channels am I going for? Where are they? So mainly, for example, if we talk about cupcakes again, the example, many moms will be either on their iPad or their phones, the devices, just scrolling, around, let's say, be after dinner time, right? This is me time. I'm going to be my consumer. So I'm not going to be on TV, so that there is no need. But I'm going to be on my phone checking, with friends, my Facebook, my Instagram account with friends, and check what they're doing. If you pop in at that time, so that's that means that your advertising or your content have reached me at the right time. So you really nailed it. Then you have to optimize the way that when I click on your link or your page or whatever, I have a strong call to action to make me convert.
Now, when we talk about multiple channel marketing strategy, another important thing that we need to take into consideration is obviously making it convenient for the customer so that turns into a sale. But let's also talk about loyalty, right? You want to build loyalty with your customers. So when you're on multiple channels, let's say you're on Facebook and you're on Instagram, and you're also using maybe Messenger, right, on Facebook, or you're on WhatsApp. Doesn't that also build loyalty amongst your consumers because they're seeing you on the places that they are using and comfortable with?
So basically what happens is that it's very important for two things. The first one is to build up the journey for your lead. Where are they coming from? So they come from a WhatsApp or from any other social mobile platforms. They can come from Facebook or any social media platforms. Then you have to drive them like a sat nav or guiding system. You're guiding them to a certain place in your website to have this transaction, this consumption of it. So that's what we call a lead, let's say, journey. The second part is the consumer or the customer journey. We have the tendency in many business to forget about, okay, I got you, you sold me I bought your cupcake, done. Bye, Marisa, I'm not going to see you anymore. But the consumer or the customers is also is someone that you have paid to have in your as a lead. So you paid effort, resources. You need to build a consumer journey after that. What is the consumer journey? The consumer journey is also on this multi-channels. So where is your consumer? You can create, for example, an Instagram, channel TV for them, just to kind of give them tips and best practice on how to cook the cupcakes, or add the special flavors, or be vegan, or have this trendy Easter coming around the corner for the Christian, or Ramadan for the Middle East. So you need to adapt and customize it. You see the little things, so that's the kind of things. And if you also have their mobile number, then you can also use it as a social mobile approach to say, guys, happy birthday, because you have this information, or this is the link, for example, to the recipe for this, or this is a voucher for you to use because it's your birthday or it's Easter and it's a special occasion for our special customer to have a 10% on your next order. So you see how you are very kind of mapping this and making sure that you're building something sustainable.
Absolutely. Okay, first of all, we're talking about cupcakes, so now I'm getting hungry and excited. And
Tell
when
me
I'm
about
hungry and excited, I talk fast. So I'm going to try not to talk too fast. But I want to say we have so many questions, Yasmina, coming through in the comments. So if your question is there, I'm going to get to it in just one moment. But I want to touch on a point that Yasmina just brought up, and that is really creating a customer experience and how that develops when you engage and when you use and create a multiple channel marketing strategy. Now, there's one thing that I love about the Engage platform that that I think any business will find is important, and you just touched on it, and that is managing all this information, managing your contacts, right? Managing special dates, birthdays, so you can send out that 10% coupon. Also, mapping out, like you just said, your entire consumer world, and you can do that with the CRM, right? You can use a CRM, which is available on the Engage platform, to actually map out all of the information so that that information is easily organized, accessible to you and your team. Talk about the importance, in your opinion, Yasmina, of having a central place, a CRM, a place to organize all that information and map it out.
Well, I think that, 10 years ago, it would have been like, I'm not going to say obsolete, but it would have been like good to have, right? Today, we need to have as much information from a sales point of view, from a marketing point of view. Why? Because we need a return on investments. Many of the clients that I support, when I come to them, they say, oh, I want to post this, I want to do this, increase the sales. Okay. But increasing the sales means that you need to assess your data, right? Do you have a data? Yes. What did you do with it? It's on the CRM system. How do you use it? Oh, we never really used it. Oh, that's another question. So I start looking at all this data analytic platforms, and I'm like, okay, so actually, for example, you have 50% or 60% females and 40%, male in the data. I'm just, kind of giving an example like this. And you're selling cupcakes. We go back to the cupcakes because
I don't mind. I love cupcakes. Let's talk about it.
So you have 60% of female and you have 40% of male. That's fantastic. And they're like, yeah, we're going to push it, we're going to push more. We need to boost more, the males post. I said to them, no. We're going to stop, for example, and we're going to review this data. In your CRM system, when this male have done this transaction, mainly for birthdays, find out it's kind of specific date, they never came back, or it was for Mother's Days, because that's what they feel that they need to do for their moms or the grandmas or their wife, right? It's kind of the participation. So it's like an emotional marketing trigger. So that is important. So you don't need to post for them like regularly. You just need to have this specific date in your calendar to make sure that you're posting for, Mother's Day, Grandmother's Day, family things to kind of remind them. Otherwise, they're not going to open your email or they're not going to open your social mobile text or whatever, and they're not going to interact with you. When it comes to the females, what kind of age? Who are they? What kind of flavor? Because just the flavor can make a big difference in the data that you're analyzing on your CRM management system. Because you can think that, chocolate is the favorite of everybody, but you will see that 50% or let's say 80% of the sales that you're doing with this female are all vegan. That means, where are the others? So the vegan is your, key product, right?
Right.
And there is a community, and you are in the niche, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what is interesting to look from a data analysis point of view. And it is very important to have this integrated, because you need to understand where your leads are coming from, how much they cost you on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, and per platform. If you have no idea, you just, it's like driving blind with a, blindfold, and you just kind of, okay, I'm going somewhere, but where is this somewhere?
Hoping to throw a cupcake and someone's going to snatch it up and say, it's my favorite flavor.
Exactly.
What's the likelihood it's going to be a match? I want to take a moment, Yasmina, there's so many comments and so many questions. Thank you all so much for watching, tuning in, and, engaging with us. I want to say hello to Corrine, who is tuning in and says good morning from Connecticut. Also, Ochochi, who says, greetings from Nigeria. I love, we have from Connecticut to Africa, up to the UK, down to Florida. We've got Tunisia tuning in. This is incredible. So thank you all so much. I've got a couple questions, Yasmina, for you. I'll show this question as I read it. It's a little bit long there. So Teodora wants to know, she says, how much does the communication skills of the entrepreneurs and the team influence the scaling up process? Do you advise them or also provide with training and assistance?
Well, to answer Theodora's questions, the communication skills is very important to cascade the information and translate it. So everyone perceives things differently, right? What we try to do is to make sure that we are giving this translated information from a business goal. Let's say that we sit with the business owners and he gives us his business goal. How do that cascade onto daily task to his team? That's my job. Because people will say, okay, we need to grow by 20%, next year. Okay, but what does that mean to you, Marissa? What does that mean to me, Yasmina? What does it mean to Theodora? So everyone has a task, and this is what we do to help them really make it. Because a lot of consultancy come and say, yeah, we're going to build this up. But then what does it mean to people on the ground? What their KPI look like? Because, I have also been in a corporate, in a corporate world where consultants come and give us the big image, but then it's kind of, but how do we do that? So that's what I wanted to come, and I'm like, what is my KPIs? You give me all this big picture, fantastic, but what does that mean for me every day? What is my job behind it? So yes, we do the training, we implement it with them, we hold their hand to explain to them what the KPIs are, how they cascade them, how they perform their job. So it's kind of, holding hands to someone until, like a kid, like, my kid, when he started walking, I kind of hold his hand until he's able to walk and jump. And then it's like, this is all yours.
Then you give him a little pat on the tush and say, off you go, right?
Yes. Don't go back.
Wonderful question, Teodora. Thank you so much. I've got a comment from Dolly I just want to share. She says, thank you, Engage, for producing this digital marketing series. Can't believe you're offering free forever productivity tools, and your live chat bots and CRM are amazing. Dolly, thank you so much for that comment. We also have some new changes coming very soon to the Engage platform, so you definitely want to keep watching our shows for all of those great updates. Let's see, we've got a comment. Someone actually chimed in for Teodora. Soraba says, Teodora, I suppose incorporating and building business communication is super critical to growth. As if you can't talk in the language of the business, then scaling will become difficult. So that's just a little bit of advice for Teodora. Let's see, what else? Oh, here's another question. This is from Oshash, and I apologize if I butcher your name, Oshashi or Ochoch. What do you think of organic marketing, Yasmina, in regards to small businesses that don't have adequate funding? What's the best way? That's an interesting question, because I think when a business is new, that is probably one of the number one things that they struggle with, is maybe finding, getting, and having the funding to then jump into advertising, marketing, getting a consultant, finding a platform, to use with the tools. So what's your advice there?
Thank you. So very good question, Oshoshi, because absolutely, you know what? A lot of startups struggles at the beginning to kind of get their brand out. I would probably say that, the organic marketing is the best way, because any business that I have seen around and I have supported around, my first advice is start building your own tribe. Your own tribes is based on organic, because I will do business with you. If I don't, I will recommend you, Oshish. So, and my network will recommend you. So this is your first tribe that is organically will give you the first revenue and the first cash flow. Then once you kind of, start working around that, it's interesting to kind of dedicate some budget around the marketing. But once you start even spending this little, make sure that you are niching it down, because going wide is not necessary. You just need to really niche down what you want to serve, who you want really to serve. So then, your speech goes directly to them and the rest will follow. One thing also to kind of add on the organic and also, the startups things is that the partnership. We never think organic is partnership, but partnership is an excellent way to get yourself out in a new network without putting that much money into it.
Absolutely. Partnership is a great way also, like you said, to expand your network. And as we're learning from these great talks on these live streams with digital marketing, when you are with somebody, obviously you get to share information, you get to bounce ideas, being able to engage and ask each other questions. You're going to learn so much with a partnership.
Absolutely.
Here's another question. There's so many comments. Everybody's so excited that you're here. Okay. Jal says, how can I handle my small business challenges and how can I manage to take attention of customers? I'm not sure what his challenges are specifically, so that might be kind of hard to actually answer.
It would be great for a child to kind of give us more information in terms of what is the challenge that he's referring to, and what does he mean by managing attention of customer. Is it the consumer, let's say, referral? Is it the loyalty, or is it the conversion?
Interesting too. So we have a question from Rama who says, what about loyalty? We were talking about loyalty and convenience and how multiple channels helps to build loyalty, and it's helpful because it's convenient because you're where the customers are. If you're where the customers are, you're more likely to turn the lead into a sale, reduce churn, reduce return. She's asking about loyalty for financial institutions.
So just to kind of start on this, Rahma, and please, if she can give us more information, because financial institution, for me, is quite a big word in terms of you have the banking, you have the broker, you have the insurance, you have the cryptocurrency blockchains, and you have this new neobanks, right? So which one are we referring to in terms of the loyalty? Because I can see examples for each and every one of them. I'll take the insurance part, right? Every time you take an insurance, what do? They always try, for example, to sell you something else. So they try to upsell you something. If I took an insurance for my car, they will tell me, by the way, if they have done their marketing right, of course, it's like, oh, she's a female, she's like a 40, so maybe she have a kid who's maybe kind of gonna drive soon. She may be married, so she has a partner, so she may be also having, so we're going to offer you other things, right? It's like, if you take the insurance of your car with us, we can give you the second one for 50%. And then, exactly. And then the same things for a bank. The traditional bank I'm talking, if I go and open an account with them and I start, they will tell me, by the way, if you're interested to have a mortgage for a house, or, we can give you like a discount if you sign it with us, with all the insurance behind it. Or if you want to run your own business, we have a specific line of business account to do that. So this is what we call upselling, and to your customer, and keep them in your ecosystem. And that's what is a lot of lacking in terms of many businesses are lacking. They keep going always out and looking for new leads and new consumer. No, start building and strengthening the one that you have, because they can be your consumer-based revenue first of all, and then you build other layers on the top.
That's incredible. If you think about it, it makes so much sense. Why almost, if it's not broken, don't fix it. If someone has purchased from you and they were a lead that you converted because you've got the multi-channel strategy in place, why wouldn't you continue to nurture that customer? Know when their birthday is, put that in your CRM, right? Make note of special dates for target ads or target marketing so that that customer buys again. That seems like such a common sense way to continue to grow sales and scale versus going out fishing again, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely. Great questions, everybody. Keep the questions coming. Yasmina, can we keep you for a few more minutes? I've got some more questions.
Go ahead.
Jonathan, by the way, says hello. I know Jonathan actually lives in the Berkshires, so we've got Massachusetts covered. And Giovanni from the island of Mauritius is tuning in. Wow, that's off the coast of Madagascar. I've heard that that is a beautiful place. A couple people are asking also just about the Engage platform and why it's free. So I think that's a good thing to touch on because it's an important thing to have a suite of tools, a CRM, a place to organize all your contacts, right? If you're going to be doing multiple channel marketing, you want to have a place like an inbox where all those messages are going. You can do that with Engage, but we have generated for many years revenue at Engage by offering optional services to people who subscribe to the free service. So I did want to touch on that because people do ask. And we are also GDPR compliant. So people do ask about data privacy, very important. And how do you say his name? Because you said it so beautifully. Is it Achochi or Achochi?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He says, thank you so much. It was a very powerful response to his question. So wonderful. Does anybody else, if you have any other questions, please go ahead, drop them in the comment section. We're going to be wrapping up in just a few minutes. Yasmina, is there anything else that you would like to touch on or share when it comes to helping somebody's business grow faster, scale up in 2021 using multiple channel marketing strategies or the omni-channel approach to being consistent among all your channels?
One thing that we usually do not talk about much is the fact that by using the omni channels across various channels, people do not set up process in the back. So it's kind of there, but there is no follow-up, either from marketing, from sales, or from product development. And I'm talking across some business size. So basically what happened is people will end up having, all this leads, all this information, all scattered, but they don't know how to funnel them in the right way, or they don't have a process. Give you an example, very simple. So you are a marketeers and you're pushing all your, your campaigns to go through a lead generation campaigns, right? So you're kind of generating for this product, etc. You get all these leads, but there is no process to say to the sales guys who receive them that you need to call them within 2 hours, and this is the script, and this is the background behind it. This is why this is where they engage with us, and this is what they wanted to do, right? So it's kind of floating in the air. The sales will call 2 days, maybe 24 hours. It's too late. 2021, you need to be on it, because you know how much concentration and focus I have online is 5 seconds. So if I have done something right now, engaging with you, I will expect to have an email within an hour of saying thank you for downloading, or thank you for coming to my to the website. You tried to see this. Do you want more information? And then the salesperson will be calling you to say, by the way, you know what? You just had an interaction on our website. What do you do out of this? So it's kind of, this is the little process that people, I'm not going to say forget, but they miss out. And that's, like that, these are the key for a successful business.
You're 100% right. It's not only being where your customers are, which makes it convenient for them. It's about having a marketing message that is the same across all your channels, right? And being consistent in how you respond to your customers. That will help build loyalty. That will help reduce your returns and your churn. But it's very important to have a place like a CRM on the Engage platform to organize all of that information. So when you have an inbox there and all the information organized, you then have the ability to follow up, right? I know in sales, they say always be closing. Maybe today our takeaway is always be convenient and always be following up. Am I right? And that's how you'll scale up.
Absolutely.
Boom. And for the win, bring everybody a cupcake when you do it.
I love it. Which flavor?
Right, exactly. Well, you better get your feelers out there and look at the data, because not everybody loves chocolate. Oh my goodness. What an amazing talk. You've inspired me to continue to think about, how to grow our businesses. And, multiple channel doesn't have to be intimidating, right? If you have help from somebody like yourself who can help with consulting. And it also doesn't have to be scary if you have the tools to organize all the information. which is important. Listen, if everybody tuning in today wants to reach you and follow up with you, I believe they can do that on your LinkedIn. Is that right, Yasmina?
Absolutely.
Great. I'm going to put that up on the screen. Go ahead and screenshot Yasmina's LinkedIn link, but obviously you can also search her, Yasmina Kazitani, in the search bar. Now, tell us also a little bit about your website, and if people are interested in having you come on board to consult for them, what can they find on your website to help them?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of very interesting.
I'm just wondering if there's a place they can leave their information on your website, or
yes,
is there
they can now put. We have this landing page where you can put your contact and your message, and this will go through the team, and we will be more than happy. Just refer in your message that you have seen me with Marissa, so I know where you're coming from. So I can give you a special discount through Engage.
Wonderful. All right. I'm going to actually respond right now into the comments. Ochochi wants to know our Twitter handles, so I'll throw mine in there. And then Yasmina, what is your Twitter handle?
My Twitter is Feriel Yasmina.
Feriel?
Yeah, wait, I don't know it by heart, so I have to check it out. So
okay, no problem. We'll get that.
Can you see it?
Oh my goodness. No, I can't. So read it to me. Is it at Feriel?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yasmina?
Yes, that's me.
Okay. I just want to make sure I spelled it right. Yep. I think we got it. All right. Achochi, your wish is our command. Our Twitter handles are there for you in the comments section. And then before we go, let's talk really quickly, like the 1-minute overview about Clubhouse, because I called you the queen of Clubhouse. You can find Yasmina at Yas Feriel on Clubhouse, where she has a club called the Franchise Business Model. What can people expect if they want to learn more about business growth and brand expansion? What can they expect from your club on Clubhouse, Yasmina?
Well, we have this club, so which I set up a few weeks ago. People will expect two things. The first one is that when you join the club, we run regular, frequent rooms where we have guest speakers coming from the business field. They come from startup ecosystem. We have VCs, so venture capitalist equity partners who kind of come and help answer questions of people in the startup ecosystem. We also have people coming from the business growth expansion franchise world who come and give advice. I also have people coming from Facebook sometimes, Google, Microsoft to answer questions over businesses in terms of the IoT, but also in various other industry. So it's a various guests that I have to make sure that we are serving in terms of a community, the information and the communication, because it's very interactive. You don't have the chance to have the Microsoft guys coming to ask him direct question. And this is what we do in Clubhouse. It's very open to anyone. And I invited Marissa to come there because she has a wonderful show and she can do it anytime with us.
Absolutely. We plan on taking our digital marketing intelligence show to Clubhouse in the near future. And it's so funny, Yasmina, I always see your pings, but because of the time difference from the UK to Central Time Zone, I'm always like, Yasmina, I was sleeping. I'm going to have to start to adjust my time, my sleep time with the rest of the world. Layla just said she found you on Clubhouse, Yasmina. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I just want to take a moment and say to everybody tuning in today that if you are just tuning in and you missed the beginning of the show, or you have colleagues that you think would benefit from the wealth of information that Yasmina shared today, you will be able to find this show on the Engage Facebook page and also on the Engage LinkedIn page as well. So just know this show will be available to be rewatched and shared with your friends and your colleagues. And also, if you have any questions that you want us to bubble up to Yasmina, feel free to continue to drop them in the comments. And if you have questions about Engage or you'd like more information about the platform, perhaps you're even interested in being a guest on our weekly show, feel free to reach out to me. And my email address is at marissa.m, or it's marissa.m@engage.com. Drop me an email there. Happy to talk about the platform, happy to talk about you being a guest on the show or answer any questions. And most importantly, visit LinkedIn Engage on LinkedIn. Give us a follow there, because if you do that, you will get notifications of all of our future shows. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank Yasmina for being a guest today. We really appreciate you taking the time to share your insights. And I also think everybody is I think you're muted. I think everybody now is in the mood for a cupcake, if I'm not mistaken.
Good.
Good.
So now we can cross-sell them the tea, we can cross-sell them the whiskey, and then we can cross-sell them the Coke, right? So that's kind of how marketing works.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you all again so much. Yasmina, thank you for joining us. And
Pleasure.
Everybody else, don't forget to tune in. And Yasmina, you've actually been tuning in too. So just make sure you tune in next Thursday. That is April 8th. Our next live stream will be on the topic of the power of podcasting, how to turbocharge your business with a global ranking podcast. So that'll be next week's topic. Tune in April 8th. On behalf of myself, the Engage team, and our wonderful guest, Yasmina, have the best day ever. And let me just check. We've got one more comment. So of course I want to get to that. Clyde says, wow, thank you, Engage, Marissa and Yasmina. You rock. Greetings from the Netherlands. So I think we hit the entire span of the world today with this live stream, which is a perfect example of how we can all come together with the power of digital marketing. So on behalf of myself, again, Engage, I hope everybody has the best day ever. And I want to thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Marissa. Bye.
Bye-bye.